What the hell, Belly? That's the question that keeps echoing in my mind after watching The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3. Episode 8, in particular, pushed her decisions to the peak of absurdity, and by episode 9, even Paris couldn't save her from herself. So, let's dive in and break it all down here on TV Promo Recap. Conrad, Jeremiah, and Belly's messy triangle. If you've been following this love triangle, you know how messy things have been between Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah. And trust me, I've always been on Team Conrad and Belly. But for the first time, episode 8 actually made me feel sorry for Jeremiah, something I never thought I'd say. The episode picks up with Belly and Conrad finally confronting each other after his confession of love. True to form and sticking to the books, Conrad tries to take it all back the next morning. But Belly, furious, calls him heartless for pretending like nothing happened. Conrad fires back, saying she's the one who's heartless. After all, she's been with Jeremiah while acting as if her feelings for him don't exist. Pride over love. This heated exchange quickly spirals into a pride-driven standoff. Belly demands Conrad leave, and she doubles down on her decision to marry Jeremiah. Watching this play out was frustrating because, honestly, it felt like both Conrad and Belly were hurting each other just to protect their egos. From there, we move into the rehearsal dinner. On the surface, it looks fine, but it only highlights how mismatched Belly and Jeremiah really are. Jeremiah dreams of working with his father and essentially becoming him, while Belly clearly wants something very different for her future. The disconnect between them couldn't be clearer. Belly's confession to Jeremiah. Later that night, Belly realizes she needs to come clean to Jeremiah about Conrad's confession. She fears this secret could ruin their marriage down the line. When she tells Jeremiah that Conrad still has feelings for her, he completely spirals. His first reaction is insecurity. He instantly fears that Belly will leave him for his brother. And honestly? Can you blame him? Deep down, Jeremiah has always known that Belly's heart leans toward Conrad. This was the first time we saw Jeremiah so raw and vulnerable this season. Instead of exploding in anger, he tries to calm Belly down, but you can see the heartbreak written all over his face. The next morning, though, he can't handle it anymore. Jeremiah bails, running away from the weight of it all. Meanwhile, Belly spends the entire day waiting, unsure whether the wedding is still happening or if Jeremiah will even come back. And here's the shocking part, despite knowing full well she still has feelings for Conrad, Belly is dead set on marrying Jeremiah. Why? Maybe pride, maybe fear, maybe denial, but whatever the reason, it feels completely reckless. By the end of episode 8, the cracks are wide open. Belly's decisions are driving wedges not only between her and both brothers but also between the brothers themselves. Episode 9 of The Summer I Turned Pretty takes the heartbreak and drama even further, leaving us with one of the most emotional cliffhangers yet. If episode 8 had you frustrated with Belly, episode 9 might just push you over the edge. Let's unpack everything here on TV Promo Recap. Jeremiah's breaking point. After Belly's late-night confession about Conrad, Jeremiah is left shaken to his core. For the first time, we see him genuinely vulnerable, haunted by the fear that Belly will always choose Conrad over him. He doesn't explode or lash out, instead, he retreats, weighed down by heartbreak. The following morning, he makes a choice that shocks everyone. He walks away. Jeremiah bails, leaving Belly unsure if he'll return in time for the wedding, or if the wedding is even going to happen at all. This moment stings because despite everything, Belly still wants to marry Jeremiah. Even though she knows her heart is tangled with Conrad, she pushes forward with the idea of marriage, almost as if she's trying to prove something to herself or everyone else. And that, more than anything, highlights just how reckless her decisions have become. Steven steps up. Amid all the chaos, one character shines, Steven. He's become the voice of reason, stepping into the role of a true brother figure not just for Belly but also for Conrad and Jeremiah. Steven tells Belly to respect Taylor for being an incredible friend. Then he confronts Conrad, telling him that his behavior was selfish and deeply hurtful to Jeremiah. And honestly? Steven's right. Regardless of which team you're on, Conrad or Jeremiah, what Conrad did was a brutal betrayal to his brother. For once, I found myself agreeing with Stephen completely. Even though I'm not a Jeremiah fan, no one deserves that kind of disrespect from both their brother and their fiancée. Watching it unfold was painful, and it made me realize how toxic this love triangle has truly become. The collapse of a wedding. Eventually, Jeremiah makes the heartbreaking but necessary choice. He calls off the engagement. It's painful, but it's also the right decision. What's most disturbing, though, is that Belly wasn't the one to end things. She was still ready to walk down the aisle, despite knowing her heart wasn't fully with Jeremiah. This tells us a lot about Belly's character. She's caught between love and pride, but instead of being honest with herself, she hides behind impulsive decisions. It's disappointing to watch, and it makes you wonder whether she has any real awareness of the damage she's causing. Parents who failed. Another theme that stood out is how poorly the parents handled the situation. Instead of guiding their children, they stood by and allowed this disaster to unfold. These are 20-year-olds rushing into marriage, and not once did the parents firmly step in to stop the chaos. Instead, everyone dropped everything at the last minute as if it were all just a game. Belly in Paris. The episode ends with Belly heading to Paris, her dream destination. At the airport, just before she boards, she unexpectedly runs into Conrad. This is where the show officially diverges from the books. In the novels, Belly goes to Rome, and her reconnection with Conrad happens months later through letters. But in the show, it looks like Conrad might follow her to Paris, setting up a romantic but complicated reunion. The cliffhanger leaves us wondering, will Belly and Conrad finally talk it out, or will Belly once again retreat into indecision? The final stretch of the Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3 takes us out of Cousins Beach and into Paris, giving us a brand new backdrop for Belly's love story. But while the city of love should promise fresh beginnings, the weight of everything that's happened lingers like a shadow. Let's dive deeper here on TV Promo Recap. Belly and Conrad's unexpected reunion. Just when Belly is ready to escape the chaos of the failed wedding, fate steps in. At the airport, she locks eyes with Conrad. That single look says it all. Despite the pain, the drama, and the heartbreak, Conrad is still the person she can't seem to let go of. Rumors suggest that Conrad won't just be a passing encounter, he might actually join Belly in Paris. This sets up the possibility of the two finally having meaningful conversations away from the noise of family, friends, and wedding drama. A clean slate, at least geographically. The Paris romance that could be. Paris provides the perfect setting for Belly and Conrad's reconnection. Imagine late-night walks along the Seine, cafe conversations, and quiet moments that remind them why they fell for each other in the first place. Fans who have been rooting for Team Conrad since Season 1 are likely thrilled by the possibility of seeing their favorite couple in a romantic European setting. But here's the catch, while Paris may be romantic, the emotional baggage doesn't just vanish. Conrad is still the brother of her ex-fiancé. Belly is still reeling from Jeremiah's heartbreak. And rushing into a new relationship now would feel messy at best, cruel at worst. Belly's choice, independence or love? For the first time in a while, Belly seems to recognize this. According to leaks and speculation, she might tell Conrad that she needs time alone. Not because she doesn't care for him, but because she can't dive straight into another relationship without healing. This would be one of the most mature choices Belly has made all season. Conrad, being the person who's always loved her deeply, is expected to respect that decision. In a way, this leaves the door open for a more thoughtful, genuine reunion down the road, one that isn't built on betrayal or impulse. Jeremiah's pain still echoes. While all of this is unfolding in Paris, Jeremiah's pain cannot be ignored. Imagine being left behind, heartbroken after canceling a wedding, only to know your fiancé has already reconnected with your brother. It's devastating. Jeremiah's arc may not end here, though. Many fans believe the writers are setting up a redemption path for him, perhaps even a separate storyline that allows him to heal and step away from the toxic triangle. Whether that's in Season 4 or a potential spin-off, his journey is far from over. The big question. So, where does this leave us? Belly in Paris, Conrad by her side, and Jeremiah picking up the pieces back home. It feels like the love triangle has reached a turning point, but whether this is the beginning of healing or just another round of heartbreak remains to be seen. As Season 3 closes with Belly's Paris chapter, the big question on everyone's mind is, what happens next? While Jenny Han's original trilogy tied up the story, the Amazon Prime adaptation has already proven it's not afraid to expand, shift timelines, and even rewrite endings. So, let's break down what Season 4 could look like, and whether we might see brand new storylines that take us beyond the books. The divergence from the books. If you've read We'll Always Have Summer, you know that Belly's Paris storyline doesn't exist in the original novels. In fact, the books moved the focus to Conrad's letters to Belly, which eventually brought them back together. But the show took a bold step by sending Belly abroad, immediately signaling that this adaptation is carving out its own identity. This creative choice opens the door for brand new plots. Instead of simply rehashing the book ending, the writers have room to explore fresh dynamics, unexpected twists, and deeper emotional arcs. It's no longer about how the books ended, it's about what direction the showrunners want to take. Season 4, Belly's Reset. If Season 4 happens, Paris will likely serve as Belly's reset button. She'll finally have the space to reflect on everything, her relationships, her mistakes, her desires for the future. But Conrad being in Paris complicates things. Will Belly use this time to truly heal and stand on her own, or will she fall back into the cycle of romantic obsession? The show seems to be hinting at growth for Belly, but given her track record, fans remain skeptical. Jeremiah's redemption arc. On the other hand, Jeremiah's arc feels unfinished. Season 3 ended with him shattered, but not defeated. Could Season 4 finally give him independence outside of Belly's shadow? Maybe he pursues his own dreams, reconnects with friends, or even finds a new love interest. Fans are divided, some want Jeremiah to step away entirely, while others believe he deserves a second chance at happiness. Stephen, Taylor, and the side stories. Another reason a Season 4 feels likely is because of the strength of the supporting cast. Stephen and Taylor, for example, have been fan favorites, and their romance has added humor and relatability. Their story could easily be fleshed out more in a new season, giving viewers a break from the heavy love triangle drama. Spin-off potential. And then there's the spin-off conversation. Amazon has hinted before that they want to expand the Summer I Turn Pretty universe. A prequel focusing on Susanna and Laurel's younger years, or even a character-driven story about Stephen or Jeremiah, wouldn't be out of the question. With the way Season 3 diverged from the books, the door feels wide open for Amazon to keep this franchise alive in fresh and unexpected ways. Final thoughts. So, while Season 3 delivered heartbreak, drama, and a major twist by breaking away from the novels, Season 4 has the potential to give us something brand new. Whether it's Belly finally maturing, Conrad proving his worth, or Jeremiah carving his own path, the possibilities are endless. And one thing's for sure, the fandom isn't done talking about it anytime soon.